Good afternoon, good morning to wherever in the world you may be watching. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round number 14 of season 4 for F1 2018 game, of course. And yeah, we're here back with another video, George Russell Korean mode, as it says in the title, with 17 points behind championship leader now, Valtteri Bottas. But last time out, I wasn't happy with the way things went in the race, really. Qualifying practice was absolutely superb. We were on it. Okay, really happy with practice. Okay, first part of the race, first 3 laps were good. But on lap 4, we sort of, well, there was a bump in the middle of the road. And that sent us flying into the barrier, lost our front wing. And from there, we had issues overtaking other people, okay, from the rest of that race. So it really was a race, really. The way I would describe that race, the first the first part of the race was very good. In fact, the, whole race was good. We had the pace, we were the quickest car on the circuit, okay. But in the second phase of that race, we had a lot of issues, but that wouldn't have been the case at the same time if our nose was kept clean. Now, I think it was a glitch personally, if you know where I'm coming from, due to the fact that I've never seen a bump there in real life. I've never even had a bump there in, in the game. So I don't know. I think it was a glitch, and that's really what annoyed me the most. But anyway, we're going to crack on. And with today's, race sort of thing, performance, and we're going to see what we can do here in the Mercedes at Italy. And this is going to be our last real opportunity at a race win, maybe, until, well, I think it's Russia after Singapore. So this is going to be our last opportunity. So let's make it a good one then, so we can sort of have a damage limitation in Singapore. Oh dear, already having a few skids. Obviously it's only FP1, so it don't matter too much. Car just not tracking right through there. Through first Lesmo. Into second Lesmo. Now power our way down the back straight here. Alright, coming up to the last corner, Parabolica. So 131.9 first lap. That's much better through there.
Heavy rain will last around 15 minutes, after which we should see a transition to light rain.
Obviously, because it's rather wet, I may just do an install lap on the inters.
Great stuff. You've pretty much nailed this circuit. This is a really strong foundation to build from over the weekend.
Yeah, because it's wet, I'm just thinking, should we do an install lap on the inters with our setup? Because at the end of the day, I don't really want to utilise, because we're only allowed 3 sets of inters, and I would like 1 fresh set for race, so yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to put on the setup, and hope the setup works. That's all I'm going to do. Because we should be able to tweak front wing.
The setup of the car.
Anyway. Should work anyway. Go to 3-3, I think, actually. That makes sense. Have a little bit of downforce for middle sector. That should help us out. Because the thing I don't want is have no downforce in the middle sector as well. Because obviously, that's the thing about here. You either ditch your downforce completely and sacrifice, you know, the corner speed. Or you have a little bit of corner speed and have okay straight line speed and lose a little bit of time on the straights. For me personally, I'd prefer lose a little bit of time on straights and have the confidence in the corners personally, because don't get me wrong, going in a straight line, it's pretty simple. It's just driving straight. But going around a corner, that's where you want the grip. You want the confidence to be able to put the car in knowing it's going to stick with you when you get to that corner. That's what you want really. Whereas when you don't have that confidence, obviously that really hurts your confidence. And yeah, you know, obviously you don't want that really. So obviously, as I say, you know, that's what you want anyway. Right, so it's dry anyway for qualifying, so maybe we didn't have to sacrifice quali. Well, race. Oh, shite. Right, no, we're not set. I'm gonna have to quit this. Don't worry, we're not retiring. So what I'm doing, I'm just quitting the actual session. What it will do, it will quit me from the session. And then basically it will, you know, when we go into it, it'll basically put me into, I think, the hub, hopefully. And then everything will be back on set. And then once we've done that, because what it is, okay, I'll explain. I forgot to change our engine, okay, for this race. Okay, because we can now change our engine, so might as well change it. You know, Italy, fastest circuit on the calendar. You know, I want to win here, of course, as you can understand, hopefully. And if we have an engine deficit around here, geez, that's probably half a second gone anyway. So you might as well take a fresh engine, have fresh power, new power, of course. Hopefully it'll work, fingers crossed. Oh no. Right, how long would it take to change engine? Right, we'll do it. 12 minutes. So we'll get 1 lap. Okay? Might as well take it. I could have done that first, but oh well. So we're going to get 1 lap here, ladies and gentlemen. I guess that's okay-ish. What it means, we've just got to focus soon as we get on it. Right, we've taken our engine, new engine now, so the new engine's installed. Ready for our flying lap, and we'll count down the clock, so when should we go? Probably now, I'm going to say. Here we go then, qualifying time. New engine installed. That should help us out a little bit. So just gonna zigzag here whilst we So we've got 45 seconds to get to the end of Parabolica, really. Alright, get a nice exit. Take us up to the line. Now, let's power our way down this straight. And we'll be hitting about 230. Bit wide on turn one, not losing too much time, I don't think. Certainly losing a bit of time through there. Obviously, do remember this is a first lap. Ricciardo gets pole position. Right, we're going to gain a lot of slipstream here. Bit of front wing. What was that, in fact? I just want to have a look. So, what was that? That was... Is that a brake duct? Looks like part of the brake, that does. Very unusual, obviously, to have a brake there. Certainly a foreign object. Looks like the brake, if you have a quick look. Well, I mean, the inner brake, so someone's tyre must have come off there. I don't think it's compromised our run through Parabolica anyway, so that's a good thing, because we sort of sat in the corner. So 6/10 down there, overall.
Just wasn't our day.
Finishing in 7th. I think that wasn't a bad for one lap.
From the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your
But it wasn't the best for one lap either. So we'll start 7th. We'll take it. Of course. Well, we've got to take it. Of course. But don't get me wrong. It's not as bad. It's not all doom and gloom. Because that was only first lap, remember. So... And Bottas, I thought, improved on his second lap. Probably many did.
Tough luck there. It's not quite.
And then obviously we had the damage
but chin up. It's not the end
towards
of the
the end.
I've been in touch with some contacts at Ferrari.
That could have
and they
easily
think
lost
your
us
attitude
about
and results
half a
might be good
second.
fit for their team. We can talk to them at our next contract review.
Rightio, so we'll now get into the race, starting in P7. Ricciardo starting first, doing a 1:18.9, I think he did, or something in that region. So even though the cars are probably at the quickest level there's been on this game, or in this game, they're still not really much quicker than the F1 2018 cars around here, really. Like a 19, well, 18, I think it was 6 or whatever he did in quali. That ain't... It's about a second quicker for 1 year's worth of development.
checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
So, we must aim to win, obviously. Well, beat our teammate first, then go after the race win. Weather
Say again, you're
report.
breaking up. No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being.
Okay.
Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Just having a think, what would be the best strategy to get us in the podium, and maybe even in the, well, maybe even in the lead. I'm just having a think. Would it be good to maybe go long on these set of tyres, hope for safety car? If we don't have the pace.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
Rightio. Nonetheless, we're not going to do too much thinking. Because who knows, maybe by the time we get into the first corner we may not have a front wing. Or maybe there'll be a brake duct waiting for us at the Parabolica, just like on that qualifying lap. Whatever that object was on that lap wasn't, well, it was a bit weird. Must be a brake duct. Or something like that, you know. Certainly a bit odd to find
The rest of the grid is
debris in
forming up.
that
Be
part of the
patient.
circuit, but
Watch the
nonetheless.
lights.
So, Ricardo, gonna start on pole. We're gonna start sixth. But you can get a good run, especially if you get a good launch. Getting a lot of wheel spin. What the?
Race
3-second penalty for that. Are you having an absolute joke? So we're on the inside, and then something comes up. What was? Is that Stroll? Lance Stroll hits us in the rear, and I get a 3-second penalty for preventing a collision and rejoining in, what was that, 7th place? So, right, let's see, were we entitled to 7th? I think we were, more or less. What are we meant to do? Give up position to them two, or to this prick here? That is an absolute joke. Right, what we're going to do, we're just going to flash back. Because I accept here, but I don't accept this. So, we're going to close the door a little bit. Oh, for fuck's sake. See, why did what's his name, Lance Stroll, have to come up my inside? There, that's what we'll do. Alright, there we go. I did predict a collision at the start, a little bit.
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around.
But I do believe, okay, if you do go off circuit, and it's not your fault, you have rights to retain position. If you go off circuit, and it is your fault, then you should hand back the position. So, a good example was that, basically turn 1. Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus. Okay, clear. Some information on Vettel. May have some kind of mechanical problem.
Need to clean them tyres because they're a bit dirty at the moment. At least we've got good close racing right now. So we shouldn't have lost much. Holy.
Okay, box.
Oh, we got caught out there by the curb on the left. Why are we so slow in a straight line anyway? Like we've got no grip on these tyres. I feel like Vettel right now.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Got literally on the exit of that chicane there after turn 1 and 2. The rears just keep on spinning. And through here, the car just so understeery. Just wants to understeer.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Got that confirmed?
It's my teammate. Oh dear. What? My teammate's been involved in a collision, I know that.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed.
That's good for me. I'm surprised no safety car was deployed there. Suddenly this car has a bit more grip now. I like this car on more tyres, it's much better.
We're going to box this lap. Push hard on the in-lap.
Did make a little bit of contact there, but it was a very ballsy move I pulled off as well. Right. We need to pull a little bit more, I think.
Hit now. Hit now.
I want to make sure I'm well ahead of that car behind, of either Vettel or obviously Hulkenberg. Alright, in we come. Can get out ahead of Ferrari, come on.
Go. Exit now.
Yes.
We're racing on the exit.
Good.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Cold tyres are horrible. I wish Pirelli built a tyre, literally, where as soon as you come out the pits, you could push on it. Like, whereas with these, as soon as you come out the pits, you've got to ease the tyre in, and even then, it's still not enough in my opinion. Like, I want to be able to, as soon as I come in, or going out, I want to be able to push straight away. Like, and I can't do that. We're going to come out ahead of Valtteri Bottas, which is obviously good.
The gap behind us is 4.3 seconds.
So I think we're in the top 3 now.
Gap to car in front is 2.2 seconds.
I'm pretty sure we're in the top 3. Leclerc's going quite fast on this lap, I will say that. But we're going faster.
Ricardo has moved up to first place.
We can still win this race, actually. I think Ricardo is the firm favourite. But we've got to prevent Ricardo.
laps, 3.3 seconds.
Alright, that's us up into second. So we now got Ricciardo, and we're coming in very, very quick after doing a purple first sector. But Ricciardo in all advantage. He's got his laps. Whilst I'm chasing him down, he's got less than laps to do. Right now though, gaining half a second, so that's positive. I'd say if we can gain probably about half a second to a second per lap, we're in with a shout here at the race win. And my teammate will have floundered. I don't know whether this would technically hand me the championship lead, doing a 1:20.4 on the next lap, so 2 seconds away from Daniel Ricciardo and the rear end of that Red Bull. Ricciardo through there, opening up a little bit.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
.2. I think we got it down to almost 1 second now. The gap.
The gap to the car behind is 3.2 seconds.
Last season, we were prevented by our teammate to win here. This season, we got Ricciardo in front of us. Last season, a DRS failure happened on the last lap. And what's funny about this season and last season is we're going to have to utilize probably DRS to overtake Ricciardo. Probably a matter of moments time now. It's just about finding our way past. Getting a good exit, and we do have DRS. I don't think we're close enough as of yet, but we are gaining. So we'll only have about one more turn 1 attempt. Have we just thrown the Grand Prix away through that stupidity, through Lesmo going on the grass there? Hopefully not.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Right. Gonna go into overtake mode. Then, as soon as we get near Parabolica, hot lap. I think this time we've got Daniel Ricciardo now. With Daniel Ricciardo just been in front. Fastest final sector as well to add to that. Here we go then. On Daniel Ricciardo, we blast our way past. Down into turn 1, just about getting the car under control, which we do quite nicely. That's us into first place of the Grand Prix on lap number 13. Lucky 13 maybe. Just now got to hold it, and Ricciardo is there. He is in the wings. Gonna put the engine mode just a little bit. I think we've done it. I don't want to just celebrate just yet, because here comes Daniel Ricciardo back on us. He's going also for overtake, but not quite. We have secured the Italian Grand Prix. It's another win this season for us in the Mercedes, and that overall, I'm gonna say it has to be my best race win this season, maybe, or it's up there with one of my best race wins so far. Like, yeah, that was a proper good race there. We were consistent, we were fast. No one else really had what it took to really win that Grand Prix, and we did have a setback from qualifying, and that's what I really like. The setback from qualifying didn't really kill us, and also during the race it wasn't easy. Then first few opening laps the car was understeering a lot, so you know there were moments, and even when we rejoined on the after the pit stop, so you know there were moments where it wasn't as easy as what it may seem in the end. But yeah, another race win then this season for us, probably the best one. The one I've wanted to achieve now for a long time. Italy, I really do like this circuit. Italy's the pinnacle, in my opinion, of motor racing. Like, it's the fastest circuit on the calendar. So yeah, you know, it's a brilliant circuit overall. So there we go. So just look how much better we were than really than what we were, you know, compared to the other teams. In fact, we were practically a second quicker than Daniel Ricciardo, a lap really. You know, we were, in fact, though, it wasn't just us. Our teammate was pretty quick in that race. I don't know what happened to him. It wasn't anything to do with me this time, I can guarantee that. Let's just have a quick look, see what happened to our teammate. So, as I say, it wasn't best start, and then obviously we did have Stroll, just to remind us of what actually happened. Oh, here's my teammate. So, we'll just fast forward. I just want to see what actually happened in terms of the incident between, I presume it was him, Max Verstappen, and Ricciardo. I'm just going to say them three are the issue here. So, it took a nice overtake on, obviously, Ricciardo. Did very good there. So obviously, as I said, you know, they were battling hard in these first few laps, so obviously it's no great surprise, you know, obviously how close things were. You know, they were quite fast, of course, but yeah, you know. Right, there we go. So right, my teammate locked up under pressure from Ricciardo a little bit, so just have a look at it in slow-mo. So teammate locked up, almost going into the gravel, then there, comes back on, sort of rejoins first gear. I don't know what happened to Verstappen there. Was he, maybe he wasn't expecting it. I presume that's the best way. Wasn't expecting I certainly wouldn't have expected it, really. And then, obviously, when I came around, I saw, obviously, originally I saw a car there, so I thought, you know, maybe they're going a bit left, if that makes sense. And then, obviously, I realised, you know, I tried to dive a little bit back on the inside. I thought, oh, shit, at this stage, honestly. And luckily, I got round it all okay. I was pleased to hear that. But then, obviously, we had Vettel on our tail. And yeah. So yeah, that was it then. And if I heard rightly, someone's at the top of Drivers' Championship. We're tied level with our teammate then. That's alright then, actually. I will take that. So yeah, you know. Right, there you go then. That is that. Obviously, Championship lead over Red Bull is huge at the moment. Of course, we're leading both constructors now and drivers constructively, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. So I presume we have more wins than Valtteri Bottas right now. Let's just have a quick look right now, because obviously we're at the top, but despite being tied on points.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? Another podium. You must be getting used to it up there.
So just doing some of the media questions.
You're leading the championship. Are you happy to be there or feeling the pressure? Appreciate your
Right,
time.
there we go then. Obviously, that is obviously the media questions now all officially done. Of course, just answering them. The thing is, okay, and I'm going to say it brutally, okay, because obviously, I don't know whether any Codemasters, you know, what you call it, Codemasters people would listen to maybe this broadcast. Maybe one or two of them do come across it, maybe, I don't know. But I honestly think, okay, they need to make the media questions, maybe relate a bit more, maybe do some news articles, make it, give it a bit more spice. So for instance, maybe your driver said this, this and that, and obviously it's led to this, this and that sort of thing. If you know what I mean. Make it seem a bit more real life, you know. And I would like, obviously, to have better helmet designs, personally, in the next game. I don't think it'll happen, personally, because we've been saying it for many years now. Better helmet designs, better media, I think. You know, just small things, small details, but yeah. Right, so that's that then done, obviously. I don't know whether we're entitled to another... No, we're not. I was going to add in another gearbox, but no, we're not. Right. Oh, it's frozen. Oh.
Remember to select a driver that you consider your rival.
Right, who should we select as our rival?
Performing well against your rival can earn you respect and better terms when it comes to our contract reviews.
What I love about this, obviously, you got some drivers that, we'll go for Ricardo. Right now, I think we're going to beat our teammate, in the rivalry, which is obviously good. So, you know, can't doubt that. Shows then we've been performing, at least, over the last, maybe, few races. Now, I just want to have a quick look how many race wins we've got this season. So, right, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got 5. Our teammates got 4. So, yeah, we've got actually one more race win than our teammates so far this season. Obviously, Singapore's going to be a tricky one for us, but, you know, that's, I think, the first race where my teammate has actually had maybe a race where actually we've been easily ahead of our teammate, which is quite nice. Obviously, don't get me wrong, Hungary, Germany, you know, second. You just see how consistent my teammate has been so far this year. Like, we've not been bad. We've been there or more, well, been there more or less, but don't get me wrong, it's been nothing compared to my teammate, who I think's done an amazing job this season, actually. Still, anyway, you know, obviously. Yeah, so overall in our career, let's have a quick look how many race wins we've now got in our career. That's our 13th race win, so as I say, is it going to be lucky number 13, as I say for some, or unlucky 13 actually, maybe, who knows, because obviously 13 is meant to be a unlucky number. The good thing is though, it's only meant to be Friday the 13th, if you know what I mean, because Friday the 13th is I don't know whether it's July Friday 13th or one of Friday 13th or any Friday 13th. It might be unlucky. So maybe if we won the race yet tomorrow, maybe we would lose the championship. But as we've won it today on a Thursday, logic rules, you know, maybe not quite. But anyway, 22 podiums so far, which is alright. 5 pole positions. Fastest laps, 14, which is alright, you know what I mean, that's not bad. Miles driven, 4, did I say 4? 5,404, total points, 617. Laps driven, 1,000, so we're actually in the thousands now. Average grid, 10th, average finish, 9th. Teams joined 2, of course. Constructors 0, drivers 0. So, you know, I think the constructors, we can safely say we've won that this season, considering how far we're ahead of our rivals. I'll just show you what I mean by rivals quickly. Look, we've got 444, Red Bull 317. So don't get me wrong, Red Bull could come back, but they would need a very, very good end to the season, if you know what I mean, to launch a challenge, really. Interestingly, we could have actually maybe even a 4-way fight for 3rd place, because when you really consider, maybe even a 5-way fight for 3rd place, you know, when you consider it all, okay, you've got McLaren, okay, well, you got Sauber trailing McLaren by around 20 points or so, then further back you got Ferrari, you know, trailing by maybe a good 30 points behind, well, 25 points behind Sauber. Then you got Renault trailing about 12 points behind Ferrari, and then you got Force India. I think Force India are the least likely to be in the battle, but certainly Renault, Ferrari, Sauber, and McLaren could all be fighting for 3rd place this season. Obviously, we don't have to worry about them. Don't get me wrong. I think we are safe, considering all things look good right now between, well, for us, as you can see, you know. But let's quickly have a look how things been going. So right now, McLaren seems to have taken a very bad slump in recent races. Best result is with Stoffel Van Dorn. Okay, if I'm correct, 10th and 10th. So picking up 2 points within the last 2 races. Vettel's picked up the most of what I can see. No, sorry, Leclerc, maybe. Or is it? Let me just work out. Yeah, Leclerc's picked up the most within the last few races. So things are looking interesting for that 3rd place battle, of course. So there you go, you know. So anyway, so 7 races to go now. Singapore, Russia, Japan, USA, Mexico, Brazil, Abu Dhabi, obviously, and only one of us, Valtteri Bottas or myself, can be the champion. Of course, right now, as things stand, I'm still, well, I would say, if anything, realistically, I haven't given myself the advantage, but I think I have certainly limited the damage, because my teammate can only pull out, okay, in Singapore, really, no more than 25 points. And I know in the past, and I'll just show you what I mean by past, let's have a look at Season 3. As you can see, in the past, we've never delivered at a circuit like this. But having said that, of course, about the past, okay, despite obviously never finishing well at a circuit like this, okay, circuits after this, we have done well. For instance, last season, okay, when we were fighting the Red Bulls. In fact, we went on a 3-race winning spring from Russia all the way to the USA, and it was actually Mexico where that was our downfall. But don't get me wrong, our teammate didn't do any better. So, you know, if that happens again, we're back in the championship going into the last few rounds. But my last 2 rounds in the last season, my teammate did top trump me there, getting a 1st and a 5th, whilst we could only manage 7th and 7th. So, you know, I think this championship is now back on. So, see you all next time for the Singapore, and most likely going to be the Russian Grand Prix. As I say, I always give it a go, the Singapore Grand Prix, but see you all next time anyway for another Grand Prix. But before we go, subscribe, like, and share, as always, and see you all next time.